Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Best Start Guide. This is day 14, and I have so much ground to cover today because I did so much yesterday. But I do want to start with a public service announcement. Um, just everybody, there's an important event coming up. About a week from now, we're going to be doing um, the Champion Chase tournament for the current series of fragments. So what you want to do is if you're playing this on your laptop, you hit L on this screen and it will take you to the quests. So once you've been taken to the quests, you basically just need any quest that you haven't done yet. Like I could do the Demon Lord one. You don't necessarily have to do the Demon Lord, you just need to do something. So what I might do is quickly jump into, actually maybe we will do Demon Lord. But you can get anything done. I put this on another video and basically proved you could do anything you want and come back to the menu, and it's as if the game got distracted and forgot what it was doing. So it just sort of assumes that I guess I'll just show you that reminder later. But for now, we've got, oh, I guess we're still using my main dungeon team. I have put Armiger on my main dungeon team now. I built him out a little. Like I said, I was busy yesterday. We'll get into more of that in a moment. First, I'm just going to quickly do the Demon Lord fight. This one is instantaneous. Wow, 2.74 mil I think is a new record for us. So things are looking up. Um, and that wasn't good enough. Okay, so we hit L. I guess because it didn't change screens. So this is fun. We're learning because it didn't change screens. That didn't work, and that was working towards a quest. But what we could do, whoops, don't want to quit the whole game. Just quit out of this mode, and let's say we go to faction wars. We'll just go to actually, we got to do arena anyway. We're full on tokens, and I believe the tournament has just dropped. So let's go in. And yeah, I was deliberately trying to drop my rank so that I'd have easier fights when we got here. I don't know if this is really the best for us anymore. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to replace Gorlos with, uh, where is she? Diabolist. I'm going to replace her with Diabolist, him. I'm replacing him with her because I got her geared up. She actually took some of his gear just so I could get her to 213 speed. I don't care that she's only 3 stars. She's here to do exactly one thing, which is the positive charge. That's just going to allow us to, here, we'll open with it. We'll make this the 1. This can actually be the 2, I guess, but we'll open with it. This way, we get a nice little speed boost into everybody else. And she even decreases the speed of, or she decreases the turn meter of the opposing teams. So this is why I want a Diabolist. I've wanted her for 2 weeks now, but it took this long to get to her because we wanted to make sure she was nice and fast. So she's controlling that turn meter somewhat on her next turn, which is about to come, unless she gets knocked out. Luckily she didn't. Oh no, she did. So if we can make her a little bit tankier, maybe that doesn't happen, or maybe we make her a little bit faster and she's fast enough to get increased speed on the whole party. And these would give us some nice advantages in the early game. We can knock that one out really quickly, but you know what? We got other stuff to do. So the pop-up is gone. Now we're just getting other pop-ups. Oh, dungeon mission. We also I went ahead and made a Fire Knight team that's actually able to get through Fire Knight. I will showcase that later today, or maybe on another day if there's a more appropriate time to go after Fire Knight, because I guess it's Ice Golem today. Um, how are we doing on the tournaments? Because I think it's about to drop. So Dragon Tournament's still open for 18 minutes. Ice Golem opens in 3. I guess I can be reasonably patient then, because I don't want to spend any extra energy on anything else. I want to use the full 108 on Ice Golem. I did test out a new Ice Golem team as well. Here we can check in. And We can do the other clan boss fight while we wait. That's what we can do. So we come into normal. I really like to 6-star Kale as quickly as possible. I might get on that today. There is a tournament still going on until the end of today, but I will say this about these crazy tournaments. They are bad for the players. I don't want to have to come back and stay up all night trying to beat two other people who are probably actively trying to do the same thing to me and to one another. Particularly because I am going to my girlfriend's mother passed away, and we are going to her funeral today. And after that, and my girlfriend doesn't want to call it a funeral. She wants to call it a celebration of life. This is she tries to have a positive outlook on it. Um, so I try not to call it a funeral around her. Uh, and so it's a rough time for all of us. But we are trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy. So I'm still making these videos. There's one thing that I want to apologize to some of my viewers. If you're looking for the arena fight videos, live arena, I did record 3 of them. I just haven't posted them yet. I just kind of haven't had the heart. I think I wasn't in the right headspace, but I'm probably still going to post them. Because I do want to keep doing that. Live arena is fun, even though it's often not fair. While this is still going on, though, let's just scroll down to here. So this is where I'm at with the series of events. I needed to get organized because I cannot remember anything, and sadly, my girlfriend has basically got my brain now. She can't concentrate. Like she's too sad. She's too distractible. There's so many things going on. And when she described what it's like being her, how she could be like thinking of something that's important, and then a moment later, just she can't even remember what it is. I'm like, I mean, welcome to my world. I've been like that for a long time. My condolences. Uh, Maybe it's getting older. I don't know. But if you have trouble keeping track of stuff, this is why you make these lists. So this is the mini account. We've got 25 fragments so far. So we're a quarter of the way there. I have put an X next to the summon rush thing here because we are not doing the summon rush. We simply do not have the resources for it. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to save absolutely everything for that champion chase tournament. Hence why I wanted to quit out of that. There's also the 7-day thing. Where is it? Progression rewards? Nope. Where's Jizo? He should be here somewhere. I don't see him. Maybe we collected, I mean, we didn't collect the champion, did we? I don't see him on the roster. So I don't know. But I think you can basically use the same trick you used to skip Rathalos. You can use that trick to skip Jizo or whatever. So my suggestion, maybe I'll even put this in the notes. So basically today we want to get on top of the champion, the classic arena tournament. It's only worth 5 points, but it's going to be a particularly difficult one. We're also, of course, going to do Ice Golem tournament, and by tomorrow we get to do the Dungeon Divers event. So they're all kind of next to one another here. But let's scroll up to the notes. What I want to do, and what I think should be added to the notes is it's somewhere. I don't know. So I'm just going to put it here so I don't forget. But basically, strategically use or strategically summon free, champs. I don't know. I'll write it out later. But for now, I think we can probably get to the Ice Golem tournaments. So I'm going to just double check. There will probably be yeah, it says it's loading. I guess when it's up, it will appear as a super raid. So is the super raid up? Yes, it is. So we can beat up to stage 10. I tried stage 11 and lost with the current team. There's room for leveling. I would love it if we just did stage 10. Let's try stage 10 again and see how it goes. Should I do double? Should I do a single? It seems risky to do a double because it was so close last time. But I'll just do a single. I'll do a single, but then I'll start doing doubles. I probably won't do any farming in this video. We're just trying to establish where the account is at. So it's day 14. Day 14 is the day that Jizo is supposed to appear, so I don't know if I screwed something up by quitting out and Jizo is just gone. So maybe we'll see at the reset tomorrow for day 15 if I really screwed up and just lost Jizo, because it would have been nice to have a 4-star chicken in any event. I mean, I might even have used Jizo, so now I'm a little concerned that I may have messed that up. But it looks like at least the legendary's coming in, so that's a free 500 points towards the champion chase tournament. We're gonna have a sacred shard by then as well from the Xena Warrior Princess track. I forget what it's called. It's one of the various passes anyway. Because we're free to play, we're just getting the sacred shard. But the sacred shard is nothing to sneer at. That's easily going to be another 250 points because you're guaranteed an epic. It's unlike the primal shards, which give you even... You can get an even better champion from a primal shard, but you can also still get rares. And I think that sucks. I don't like that. I have never pulled a... oh, this is not a good sign. This is not a good sign at all. So it's good that we didn't do the double. So we'll probably not do stage 10 then. At least not until I toughen up some of my champions. Stage 9 is probably a lot more viable. It's too bad though, because we're looking at 3 to 5, 3 to 5, 3 to 5. We could probably even just do stage 7, which would be faster. I'm even going to super raid this one. Tickety-boo. Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about with my brain. I completely forgot what I was talking about. I felt like I was on the verge of seeing something. We could go back to the notes though. For the clan quests, we're still on track to do this. I still haven't collected the final quest, but we should be getting close on 5 million silver. I have also re-geared a number of these champions. So I had my absolute best piece of crit rate gauntlets. I put them on Armiger. And the reason is, Armiger, when he uses his A1, as long as it's a critical, he does turn meter damage. And I was trying to get through the Fire Knight and progress the Fire Knight for that mission. So I found Armiger was great. I'd just turn off his A2 and just spam his A1 when he gets to the Fire Knight. And also, I even want to take a look at the Fire Knight team just to describe what I'm talking about. So Armiger's job is to do turn meter damage. We've got Diabolist here. Her job is to make everybody nice and fast. So she puts increase speed on the party. I make sure to just have her not do anything till we get to the third round, because the the minions on the way up, you just kind of gimp them with Kale's AoE and Shield Guard's AoE. So between these two, we're just taking them all out anyway. Then Armiger just spams his riposte to do turn meter damage, slowing the Fire Knight down. Shield Guard also has slow or decreased speed to slow the Fire Knight down. And Skinner comes in. He's just a shield specialist, and I'm pretty pleased with his gear as well. Like Diabolus is just really fast. Skinner not particularly fast. I mean, we're working with really low speeds here, 136, 125. I wanted to make sure he was faster than Armiger. And Kale is of course decent at 180. But I put Skinner in a Relentless set. Relentless is one of the hardest sets to get in the game, except the game does give you some free, really crappy ones. And what better way to use it than put it on a champion who isn't really intended to be particularly powerful. So I took a bunch of 3-star pieces. This is a 4-star piece. I don't know why it's my only 4-star piece. Maybe I do have more pieces. And we could shrink this down to double check. Okay, Relentless, where are you? So here's the Relentless stuff. I think what I did was I isolated for speed. So it's just they all had a little bit of speed on it, just a little bit. And that's what I needed. So Skinner is there as a Fire Knight stand-in. Honestly, as soon as we get somebody better, Skinner's going to be off the team, or maybe he'll stay on the team and we'll just have two that have a triple hitter on the A1. So Skinner has a triple hitter on the A1, making him one of the most useful, uncommons in the game. Where is he? This is who we're talking about in the Lizardman, Skinner. So if you're just starting out and you're looking for a way to progress against the Fire Knight, you can't go wrong with Skinner. He's even got a really cool A2, which removes 2 random buffs from the target. It can often be essential to have somebody that can do this. Uh, if you're wandering around in faction wars or whatever, and you encounter, say, this guy, he's in the Dark Elves. His name's Paragon, and there he is. And whenever, normally, I think they don't have booked champions, but whenever you face Paragon, it looks like they booked him just to be extra irritating. So this goes down to a 2-turn cooldown. He puts Unkillable on himself, and he basically just becomes invincible. And if you have somebody who's turn meter controlling him, you will never get out of that fight, or you will never win the fight. You basically have to quit and lose whatever energy you spent on it, or if it's faction wars, you don't lose anything. You don't lose keys in faction wars. But uh, Skinner can help you get through that. That's one of the many good things about him. So I'd say Skinner, not a bad uncommon. I might even add him to here. So Armiger. Oh, and hey, look at this. Just quickly, I actually finally found an ancient shard in the shop, but I wasn't recording at the time. So you'll just have to believe that I found one. But let's add Skinner. Skinner's pretty cool. I'd say Skinner helps. So I'm gonna add him in to the bolo for the early game. You don't necessarily want to 6-star him or anything, whereas you might want to 6-star your Armiger and your Shield Guard. But Skinner is maybe third on my list. That's what I'm gonna say. So I want to go to events. This is something that I wanted to do in this hour. We got 50 minutes left for this event, so this is my goal. How far into the video are we? 18 minutes in. Okay. Well, here's my stated goal. I want to get this ancient shard. There's still a Dungeon Divers event going on. It ends in 50 minutes. We got the champion fragments already. So this is a good thing. We basically just want to make sure we don't lose out on the shard. How many shards we got now? We got 12. So we're doing pretty well. So we're not going for this event. It's a trap. We're going to use absolutely everything that we got. Like even if we collect that sacred shard, which is here in the passes. Here, we got a sacred shard. Let's get it right now. We got the boots. Those boots look like they're going to be awesome. And we got the auto battles, and we'll use those as well. So you get 500 points for sacred. You get 120 for voids. That would be 620 points. You get another 120 points for this, so that's 740 points. This would be 770 points. No, I'm miscounting. 1,000 points. Sorry. Basically, nowhere close to what we need. That's the long and short of it. Even if I can't do arithmetic, apparently. But what we want to do is we want to get. I think we're only about 130 points shy. Oh, we're like 100 points shy. So, how many fights do we need to do to make sure we get that shard? And since we got to do Ice Golem anyway, we're not even losing out on anything. This is just good for the account as a whole. So the minimum drop is a 3. rare, I think. So 8 points, according to this. So 8 goes into 94 uh, 12 times. No, I'm not sure if I can do multiplication, but I think it's 12 times, which means if we do super raids, 6. Although it's not that simple because we haven't reached stage 16. Um, sometimes you don't get the sometimes you don't get the artifact. That's just the way it goes. So she's super easy. We're actually going to be full on tokens in 40 minutes, which is why I came here first before going to the dungeons. We might do a couple of these fights. We're getting 5 points in silver. So this is going to be a little more challenging than it is for a late game account. It's interesting the way the points work. You can go to the tournaments. Um, Sometimes things are way easier when you start out. For Classic Arena Takedown, I think the points here are easier too. We only need 60 points. That's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Wow. Okay, I am absolutely not worried about this whatsoever. I was worried it was going to be something where we needed 300 points and we were going to really have to hover over it all day, but we already got 10 points just for 2 victories. We basically just need to win 12 times in Silver 1. Um, so that's nice. We could still try to boot it and win the tournament. And by win, I mean if we can get in the top 3 and get some 5-star Relentless, that'd be pretty cool. I would be pretty happy with that. But we've already got a whole bunch of people who've hit it harder than we have, so what do we got in the tank? Because I don't want to blow through any extra gems for this. We have 8 whole hours to use these other resources, so I'm not worried. We can come back for those later. For now, this is what I want to do with my hour. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about today? Just kind of go over the notes. I mean, I went over this in another video, but I went over this earlier in this video too. But basically, I've got one of these for each of my 3 accounts. Doing this on 3 accounts is something I would never advise you do unless you are um, nuts. I mean, I don't even know if I want Zinogre on my main account, on the BTPD account. I just don't know. I'm probably not going to build her right away. Uh, but I just don't know. On the BTPJ account, I have a plan, at least. But maybe I'm just doing it because I want to see if I can. But I haven't actually gone over her kit completely with you guys. Although you can go over it yourself. You have the game. But she has some really fantastic stuff in here. Like she's got this passive that increases her damage as her HP goes down, which kind of clashes with her leech here. But the fun thing about this is you could probably just turn this move off and use the other stuff. She wouldn't be putting increased attack on herself, um, but you might not need it depending on what your comp is. Let's say you're running an unkillable comp where everybody's at low HP, and you have maybe Seeker on the team, and Seeker's doing the increased attack on everybody, so she wouldn't need to do it on herself, and she just get the bonuses. And then you could build her with accuracy so that you could score the weakens. Um, and yeah, she's got multi-hits on everything. And that means you probably want to put her in Giant Slayer, which is a super powerful mastery if you've got 3 hits or more on all of your moves, or even just on your A1. It's great. But if you have a 4-hitter, a 4-hitter, and a 3-hitter, it's amazing. And then to top it all off, you probably want to put Brimstone on her because you get a chance to inflict Brimstone with each hit. So she's going to be really, really good in Brimstone. She's just going to be completely overpowered. And finally, it's the fact that she prevents her death and gets back up. And she's got this on a 4-turn cooldown. I am not sure if it can be reduced to a 3-turn cooldown. Maybe it can't. So you'd have to balance her to have a 4-turn cycle when you're fighting against the Sand Devil, if that's your plan. So if we get her on this account, we're going to build her for Sand Devil. Um, if we get her for the BTPJ account, that's how she's going to be built. Main account, I don't know. Might not even build her. But main account is one that has a lot of resources, so I'm just not so worried. Um, and I'm wasting time. We should go to the dungeon. We want to make sure. I'm just going to go ahead with 7 because 7 has a pretty quick runtime. And what did I say? 6 times? Let's run it 7 times. I'm just going to start the multi-battle. Um, continue if they hit max level? Yeah, might as well. Continue even if you lose? No. So I'm just gonna put it on auto for now. I think I said I wouldn't farm in front of you guys actually. I'm maybe more interested in going after the arena tournament, but I was concerned it would take way longer than it turns out it's gonna take. I'm just gonna do that. There we go. That's better. I didn't like the way it was messing up my numbers here. We should take a look at Faction Wars, come to think of it. And the dailies are done already. Like I said, last night I was just really busy and I wanted to make sure I completed as much as possible. So we are close to being able to 6-star Kale. And by close, I mean we're probably actually still pretty far. I think that was a fib. Kale is your first 6-star is rough. I mean, you really you either have to immediately sacrifice. See, look, we got a brew in that first fight, so we didn't even get the points. So we're gonna have to do at least 7. We may have to do more than 7, um, just to get that shard. But that's it. That's the goal. And we got, I said 50 minutes. It's probably more like 40 now. Yeah, I've been talking a while. So we got 40 minutes to get through this. So this is the priority. This is what we're going to be doing. I'm just going to auto through these, and I'm going to try to find stuff to talk about while it completes it, just so we make sure we get to that goal. Um, so that said, if you wanted to stop watching here, I would not hold it against you. I mean, I'm probably not even going to know. I know that there are analytics. For instance, some content creators will talk about analytics. They'll say, like, I've noticed a number of you aren't subscribers. Why aren't you subscribed? Subscribing is easy. And I suppose this is my way of casually mentioning subscription. I mean, if you've been watching this far and you're not subscribed, why not? I mean, you're clearly invested. Um, but yeah, I frequently forget to like and subscribe stuff, so it helps. Like, oh, it's a brew again. Unbelievable. So that's like one full ice golem run just got us no points at all. That really hurts. That really makes this a lot more difficult. This is why I say when you want to do these events, you want to push to at least stage 16. That doesn't happen once you reach stage 16, but it's 16, that's the threshold. There's maybe one exception, and the one exception is Spider. This is kind of a lesser known thing about Spider. I think it's like common knowledge, but I don't really see it written much of anywhere. But if you run Spider 10, which doesn't even seem like one of the hallmark dungeon levels to run, but if you run Spider 10, you have something like a 90% chance to get a 5-star artifact, a 5-star piece of jewelry, amulets, banners, and rings. And I don't know why, but the other caveat is yes, you have a much greater chance of getting a 5-star than say you do with stage 11 or beyond until you get to something like stage, I don't know, 17, 18. Um, maybe even 19. I don't remember where the cutoff is, where then the minimum that you can get is a 5-star artifact. But you get a lot of uncommon artifacts. So you get a 5-star, but it'll be uncommon. So if you're more concerned with the main stat on an artifact, like let's say you want a 33% crit damage amulet, you are better off doing stage 10 than you would doing stage possibly even 16, because you just have a really high chance of getting the 5-star, and all you really care about is the crit damage. The other substats often don't matter so much on a damage dealer. You might get a flat attack somewhere on your amulet, but who cares? It just isn't going to add up to much. Maybe you get some accuracy if that was a stat you wanted, but for the most part, that's probably a good way to get crit damage amulets. That's probably the way we're going to do it as soon as we can actually get stage 10. Are they already through it? 4 of 7. Why did you stop? Oh, we're out of energy. We're out of energy. So that's why. So we did 4 runs. We got we got about 2 runs worth of items. Okay. Okay, game. So we need to run it at least 4 more times. So maybe I'll queue up 5. Did I use all the extra energy already? Here, let's grab this one. We have other energy in other places stashed away. Do we? Yeah, hell with it. I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I normally don't like to overburn on energy, and in fact, I probably should have just taken the full one, but let's just go ahead and do the double runs. We're doing stage 7. And what, another 5? We need another 4. But we'll do 5 because I am so used to. I wasn't totally paying attention, but I feel like in every single run, we probably got 1 artifact and then 1 kind of off piece. Like, mystery shards are okay. I don't mind getting mystery shards, they add up and they are useful. And the brews, they're also useful, but you don't get points for them. And that kind of sucks. So, Plarium, if you're watching along, please give us points for that stuff too. It's just we're doing dungeon runs, or just give us points for running the dungeon runs, right? Give us points based on the level of dungeon if you want. That also seems like a reasonable way to do it. But it's about acquiring artifacts. That's the name of the game. So if you don't get an artifact, you don't get the points. That's just the way they want to run it. I'd love to get a cleanser, maybe with some block debuffs in here at some point. That's what we're really feeling. This is why I'm glad we at least have Shield Guard. He doesn't care if he's frozen. Like, I'm frozen, I don't care. I'm taking a turn, I'm gonna go. Doesn't matter to him. He'll shake it off. What a fantastic champion. So, Plarium, I know I complain, but I'm gonna say this about Armiger, I'm gonna say this about Shield Guard. A+, no notes. Honestly, we need more uncommons like these two. As much as I said Skinner's also a good one, he's nowhere near these two. I can't really think of anybody who's anywhere near these two. These two are amazing. Like, they're well worth building. And what I'd like to see, like, if they put me in charge, here's what I'd do. I'd make it so that you can actually upgrade champions to the next level of rarity using various things. So you could make a rare version of Armiger or a rare version of Shield Guard. Maybe even when you do that, Shield Guard acquires a defense aura. Maybe Armiger acquires a crit rate aura, or a crit damage aura, or an accuracy aura, or something like that. But we can wish and hope for stuff. How many runs is that so far? I guess that was 2. I mean, so far so good. We got 2 artifacts on that last one. So we'll come over to the notes. So the Reviver is in the fastest regen combo now. I didn't... His gear isn't particularly good. You can still see every time he gets a turn, he pops out about 2,000 HP whenever his turn comes up. It's like, come on, dude. Take your turn. So there it is. It's 2,500 now. I guess he's leveled a bit, so he's getting even more. I'd love to toughen him up more, because at a certain point he'll be tough enough that he'll be running a surplus of health. And we got 2 artifacts again, and they're both 4 stars. Not bad. I think we might not have to run this anymore after this. I mean, we're gonna have to keep running Ice Golem to complete the Ice Golem tournament, but at the very least, getting that shard. That's what I want. That's what I want, guys. That's my goal. So, Broadmaw Fusion at this point, I almost want to say nah. I would not even make this part of the plan because you're already getting shaman. Um, and I'm not even going to build shaman because I got grinner. You're likely enough to just randomly pull a reviver. Um, I'm hoping we get an even better one when we do the champion chase tournament. So that's something to look forward to. We're not going to be pulling any more shards until then. So we'll have to wait and see what we get. Yeah, we got a brew that time. Uh, so in the market, yeah, we covered that. Faction wars. Um, haven't looked at faction wars yet today. Not sure what factions are up. We might take a quick look at that before we go. Maybe it's not important. Clan quests. We'll take a look at the clan quests. I'm going to leave that highlighted. That is one last thing that I want to make sure we don't forget about. So here's the final run. I'm hoping this is the points we need. My tea. I made this a long time ago. It is now as cold as troll piss. I apologize for the joke. I'll always make some kind of crude joke about what cold tea tastes like. I'm kind of thinking if it doesn't taste good cold, maybe you shouldn't be drinking it. Honestly, water is probably the only thing that people should really be drinking. Coca-Cola is right out. Oh my God, I cannot believe I used to drink Coca-Cola. That stuff, I mean, it scares me what that does to the body. But anyway, we're not here to bash junk food. So we got it. We got it, people. We got our ancient shard. This is our goal, and we got it. So that's it. Artifact enhancement event. You know what? I wanted to briefly mention, um, apropos of starting a new account and just having a big advantage. It's 2,000 points here, which is a lot for a starting account, but it's really nothing compared to what they make, say, my main account do. In my main account, it's 4,800. It's more than double this just to get the champion fragments, the same number of champion fragments. Maybe that makes sense because a further along account needs less help, I suppose. But the counterpoint is it feels a little bit like the player's getting punished for being good at the game. So it's interesting. But this does mean that if you are early in the game, you have some advantages. Like winning tournaments, I only win a tournament once in a blue moon, on my main account. It's just too difficult because I'm dealing with krakens often. There's going to be, if it's a group of 100, it's just about guaranteed there's going to be like two krakens in there. But here in the early game, I mean, we're 14 days in. Sometimes there's just no one. Maybe because I started on January 1st, I'm getting a bigger cohort because I have started this game anew before and had almost nobody to compete with. So I think there are a lot of cohorts just because a number of people want to start anew for the new year for some reason. I'm not really sure why we're all doing this to ourselves. One account is bad enough. Two accounts is almost unmanageable. And three, you have to be insane like me to want to be trying to push three accounts. And I think, in fact, realistically, I'm not really trying to push the BTPJ account anymore. At this point, I have one goal left with the BTPJ account, and that's to be able to reach Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss and do it in one key, so that I can do the auto key and then just log in once per day and do just that. So far, I'm so close. Yesterday, I had 60, no, I had 70.2 million. Just like a tiny fraction of points away from it. I'd been consistently getting to 68 and then 70.2, and I keep tweaking the team just a little to try to get there. Maybe today will be my lucky day. I'm gonna log back into that, but basically, I'd say two accounts at a time at the most, and really you're only looking to progress one account at a time. in this game. It is just too crazy to keep track of stuff unless you take a ton of notes. So I'm just looking for the easy fights here. This looks like it's going to be easy enough. We don't even have War Maiden or Gorlos in the team. I did gear up War Maiden as well. Maybe I should also include this in our episode. Why not? You're still here. So here's what I did with the gear. That's not the right place, Gavin. Okay. So Kale, I don't have a crit damage amulet for him yet. Once we can start doing Spider, that's going to be a cool thing to keep an eye out for. How close are we, come to think of it, to completing this clan quest? Still 1.5 million away. All right, we'll get there. When we get a couple more clan coins, I'm going to try for some more of the counterattack ones. You know, the good ones. These ones. This one's for undead. I could probably put this on Grinner, come to think of it, if I get him to 5 stars. He currently isn't. So this is what Grinner looks like right now. I think he hasn't received an update yet. Gorlos is naked at this point. He's about as naked as War Maiden looks. So I put her in uh, the absolute best accuracy stuff that I could find. She is ever so slightly faster than Gorlos, and that's why I chose to do it this way. So she's got 150 accuracy. Her speed isn't quite good enough to go ahead of Kale. And I didn't want to slow down Kale, but I do have speed boots. These can get an extra 14 speed in them. So during the next artifact enhancement event, I'll push the boots. For now, I don't think it's worth it. I'd actually just rather have another nuker in there. And anyway, it's not like she's got 100% yet. Come to think of it, yet another thing I'm forgetting to do. We actually got some spare War Maidens. So we could take 2 of them, and we want Crumbling Blast. RNGesus, are you with us? Are you with us, RNGesus? No, you are absolutely not with us today. It's a shame. So it went into the A1. Anyway, eventually we'll get the books, and it's like I said, like we could go for the books. Come to think of it, I think the reason I was saving those War Maidens is because CVC's coming up, and I could have waited. I don't know. I didn't wait. Sometimes I'm impatient. I'm sorry about that. What else do we have to do? Oh yeah. I distracted myself. So again, I'm sorry about this. We go to the champions. Shield Guard. He's not in our best gear. Sun Wukong, he hasn't really got it either. I think Armiger got some of the best stuff, honestly. So here's where Armiger's at. He's got 176 accuracy, and he's got close to 100% crit rate. As close as I could get. I could really only get to 84 with the decent gear without blowing too much on extra artifact rolls. But these are 2 really good pieces that came in from the free login bonuses. So this was pretty lucky. I got the accuracy one, I got the crit rate one. Savage is maybe not the best thing for him because he doesn't really benefit from the extra attack. But it's what I got. I'll probably move this stuff onto Sun Wukong or possibly Shield Guard at some point. Because I do want Shield Guard to also be at 100% crit rate. Just because each critical hit fills his turn meter. He's fully booked. Armiger's not yet fully booked. I'd love to get him fully booked so that he gets this on a 2-turn cooldown. That will be a big boon. For now, there's Faction Wars. Have we already looked at Demon Spawn? Demon Spawn, I can kind of turbo through with her, come to think of it. I probably want to regear Gorlos. She's going to make stuff easier because she can make sure he goes extra fast. She's going to go twice. She even has an AoE. Maybe I should at least 4-star her. So that's something I'll get on top of. I won't do the runs right now. Um, Orcs, we have Shaman. We also have this guy. This guy might end up being food, so I've already taken him to 40. I'm I'm thinking I'll hold off on using him as food for Kale, but he's probably going to be food immediately after. He's just our only Void champion right now. Sometimes in the arena, you need to take a quest that requires you to have a Void champion, and that's part of why I like having him here, just so we can get one of each affinity. It's just the only Void champion we have now, but we do have a Void Shard. So eventually, maybe we'll get a luckier pull. Maybe we'll get Kurzad Deep Heart. Maybe we'll get Cold Heart. Maybe we'll get Gear Grinder or Tree Shield Knot. I don't know. Maybe we'll get Harrier. We all know Ash loves Harrier. So I think that's it. I mean, hey, how are we doing for time here? We've been in 45 minutes. I've done the clan boss fights already. We've done. How close are we on the tournament? I could probably complete the tournament fragments in this session. In fact, maybe I will. So if you want to stick around, I'll do that. We need 12. And they really go by fast. I mean, we're getting 5 points per victory. So we are already halfway there. That's kind of funny. 6 fights, halfway there. Unbelievable. I'll grab the coins, why not? So we have a fair bit of time to collect this. We have more energy to go through. We could run more Ice Golem, but I think I'm just going to leave that farming. Yeah, we got news. Winter's Path event. Yeah, that's interesting. Battle, arena. So we got to wait 7 minutes for a reset. I suppose I could try another one now. They have Jizo on it. This is the champion that I may have whiffed it and may have lost this champion. I'm really hoping I'm wrong about that. I don't know why it disappeared though. It's possible I deliberately didn't claim one of the other rewards and took the. I don't know. I feel like it should still be there. I don't know why it's not there. Anybody have any idea? There's the daily login rewards, but it's not here. There's normally another window for it. It's not the progression rewards, because that's this stuff. Maybe they gate it behind the Rathalos chase. So I have to actually take. Here's the way we're going to test it. Because we're 1 day ahead anyway, I'm not worried about this. Let's grab the boots. That's okay. Oh, and there it is. Okay. We didn't lose it. It's just gated behind the free login champion. So this is perfect. We'll get Jizo and Rathalos at the same time. We'll just hit L, and we'll do something else. So we could say fight in Tag Arena, beat a faction ward stage with a rare. That sounds like a worthy cause. So we could go to the Demon Lord Crypt. We could even try to beat stage 3. Just bring these two. It'd be nice to gear him, but I don't want to go back to the main menu. So let's enter, and win or lose, this should be fine. But I also like this because this means we don't have to stagger. We don't have to stagger Rathalos by a day anymore. Now we can basically just collect Rathalos and Jizo on the same day as soon as the event drops, and hopefully I don't have like a momentary lapse of judgment and accidentally hit the wrong thing and collect them, because that's going to be really sad. That's 750 points that we're going to have a devil of a time acquiring any other way. 750 points. I mean, the Sacred Shard that we got, that really only guarantees us another 250, so that's 1,000 points. I might even want to do a quick rundown of what the minimum points are. Just assuming we have the worst luck in the world. We can go to the notes. I could even just scroll a little down to here. Let's say we lost. That's a shame. But I think that'll still get us what we want. But we've got like 750 guaranteed, and then we have another 250 from Sacred guaranteed, and then other stuff. You know, I'll figure out the other calculation. The one from Void I think is 50. Void is 50. That I remember. The other stuff it's going to be less and less. Like ancient shards are going to be worth 10 each. If you get rares, you just get 10 points. So we could go back to the Bastion, and yeah, it's off. So we can take another look at the arena. Has it been enough time? It probably hasn't. 3 minutes still. Anybody else we want to try to fight? I mean, we could try to fight the Sun Wukong. We might be able to beat this team. It's like I said, I'm not so worried about resources anymore. We have a ton of them. And I could try to hover over the account at various points in the day. I can't do it all day. As I said, I have a funeral to go to. But I can try to be vigilant and look for easy teams and maybe win some Relentless gear. 5-star Relentless gear would be huge for this account because it's so early and Relentless is so good. But the tournament I'd really like to win. Let's have a look at this one. It doesn't seem super likely, but the Champion Training Tournament, this has actual fragments in it. It's just a question of how crazy, or how much crazier than me, anyway, are the two people that are ahead of me. There were two people ahead of me when last I checked anyway. Yeah, so here's Mini Gavin at 3rd. So, I mean, they're not too crazy. It's 6-star artifacts. Wow. I'd really like to get my hands on those. So it's tempting to push as hard as I can. We're already more than halfway towards them, but I'd be willing to wager they're probably also willing to push a little further. So I guess we're going to find out close to the event. I might even be recording as the event's ending so that we might dedicate a day on the best start guide to that. It'd be super cool if we got it. It's just going to be a question of where does it end up? I guess this would be tomorrow, right? If we go back to the tournaments and just look at, it says exactly a day. So I think it's exactly 24 hours from now. So by tomorrow, if I'm awake and here, we should be able to do it. One way or another, we're going to get some good stuff. Like even the gems in the book is nice, but I don't really care about those. But getting 2nd place would be huge. So 1st or 2nd place, I'd love to come in 1st. I do not know if that's realistic. It's really gonna come down to what's gonna happen with them. So back to the arena. We got 57 seconds, which is an eternity. I'm not sitting here watching the clock. Tag team. Anything interesting going on in tag team? We can try for some easy points. How about these? We'll push through. We still don't even have enough for a single Drexstar fragment. It takes a very long time to go after Drexstar. Case in point, I don't even have Drexstar on the BTBJ account, which I started over a year ago. And I just never remember to collect the fragments, I guess. Come to think of it, maybe I do have all the fragments and I just never claimed him. Now I'm not sure. I'll have to log in at some point and check. Anyway, this one's not going well. I don't know. Sun Wukong, can you turn this around? I don't think he can. I did finally ascend Sun Wukong, so he does have a chance to get back up. But unfortunately, there's nobody really tough that I can pair him with. So one particularly powerful combo would probably be if I can get Grinner as tough as nails and put Sun Wukong with Grinner, I might be able to have a team with some staying power. Maybe. But this account lacks a proper tank. I'm not sure who the tank is going to be. So let's hope for a tank. That's another thing I'm hoping for the coming event. But looking at these, we've got a guaranteed 1,050 points. I don't know how many points the event is going to be. It might be easier for a starting account, but it might not. Because the summon rush was the same. As much as they seem to make it easier on newer players for a number of other events, tournaments, and stuff like that, they really don't make it easier here. It's still 3,100 and whatever points. I guess 150. It's a crazy amount. It's not realistic. So that's why it's nice that there's an extra 15 points scattered across all of the events, because it means we can skip those 15. But we have to be vigilant. We got to not miss anything else. So that's why I have created this the triple threat fragment frenzy list of things. On my main account, I've actually only got 15. Come to think of it, I must have more now because I think I did the champion chase. I think I just didn't tally that. I got to double check my notes because it's important. As important as keeping that list is, it's also important to update the list when appropriate. But I make sure not to delete anything off the list until I know that it's gone by. So this, for example, the summon rush with 15, I could delete that because it's basically gone. It's like it's not there. I'm never going to do it. And by tomorrow, it's literally going to be gone. It's not even going to be available anymore, so I'm not worried about it. Let's just get rid of it, and let's try to go after the fragments here. So how many fights do we need? 6, I think. Is this the next one on the list that we want? We got 5 minutes. Yeah. Let's take it. So let's get through another 5. We could have 30 fragments. We'd be pretty close to our goal. We seem to be on track. It looks like it is going to be possible. Well, Valerie is going to stubbornly stay alive, but what are you going to do, Valerie? Buff us to death? So now we've strayed into Silver 2. The fights are going to be harder here now. We got a 50. We're probably going to see nothing but 50s here. But we can try this fight. How are we doing for time? Oh, yeah, we're just a couple minutes shy of the hour. So I think I'll just end the video here. I'm gonna take one quick look to see did we complete the tournament. I don't think we got through 6 fights there. Well, we can look at the tournaments. We'd got something to end the video with. Oh, we completed it. Look at that. We completed it. So we can collect all this stuff. Look at this loading thing. But anyway, we got it. So thanks for stopping by. See you on the next video. Take care of yourselves.